Jeremy Hunt has been talking up tax cuts over the past few months or so. At the beginning of the year, he said that he was going to be a bit like Nigel Lawson, that big tax-cutting Chancellor of the 1980s. And then just a few weeks ago, he said there'd be less scope for those tax cuts. And now the reality has hit home. He's got less headroom, less financial wriggle room than he had at the beginning of the year, some 13 or 14 billion pound. And what he's decided to do is to go for a 2p cut in personal taxes. And there was going to be the choice of either reducing income tax or national insurance. And the final decision, they've decided they're going to reduce national insurance by 2p for workers. 27 million workers across the country will benefit, and that will come in from April this year. In real terms, this will mean a £900 bonus for British workers. You had the 2p cut at the autumn statement last year that came into people's pay packets in January, and from April you'll have another £450 that will go into people's pockets. So a £900 sort of payback, cash back for people to see over the course of the year. But it's got to make a dent in the polls, because time is really running out for the Conservative Party if they want to have any chance of holding on to the keys to number 10. So the Chancellor has got a dilemma. He wants to finance these tax cuts. So what he's got to do is find some revenue raisers, and what that could also mean is he's got to find some money within the existing Whitehall budget to try and save some money. So you could see public services being squeezed slightly to pay for this national insurance cut, and you may also see some policies to raise some revenue. So you may see a change to the non-dom regime, which is a tax regime for foreign nationals. You may even see some taxing on holiday lets for landlords. So you may also see the extension of the windfall tax on oil and gas companies. So all these things will be going into the mix to try and pay for these tax cuts. The tax cut on national insurance, or the 2p on national insurance, the cut will cost around £9 billion. So these things are expensive and they have to be paid for. This is the political dilemma for the Chancellor. He has to make that judgment between people wanting tax cuts and people wanting better public services. The Conservatives traditionally stand on the banner of low taxation, and this is what they think will see them through the day and have any chance of trying to claw back those poll leads that are absolutely devastating at the moment. Well, just before a general election, the last thing the Chancellor will want to do is try and raise the price of a pint in the pubs. What he will do, though, is he'll raise cigarettes and the price of a packet of cigarettes, which may go up to around £16.50. There's good news for drivers. We expect to see a freeze to fuel duty, and also the temporary measure, that 5p temporary cut to fuel duty that was introduced back in 2022, that will be continued. So it's good news for drivers and good news for them ahead of that general election.